Hey guys, Utah Steve here. It's very noisy at the moment, but believe it or not, I'm not in the city. My lens is a bit dirty. Let me wipe that off. Okay, so what I'm doing today is a new series I want to try. Basically, these are 2-hour evening hikes. The rules are I'm going to be going out Tuesdays and Thursdays every week. The hike has to be near my house. It has to be something I can do in 2 hours or less because I have work later tonight. I'm trying to lose weight. I'm trying to take better care of myself. And it'll also involve dinner. So right now I need to stop filming because there's some people coming my way, and I'll explain the camera situation in just a second. Okay, so today's hike is Wheeler Creek Trail. Here's our sign. There's all kinds of trails in here. There's a huge loop that's like 13 miles starting here. Here are all the little warning signs. I've done this hike before. This sign about the dangerous moose has been here for literally, I don't know, 6-7 years. Anyway, here's our trail. I think it used to be an actual road. Anyway, quite beautiful and green. Now here's the camera situation. This is going to be a shaky video. I don't have a tripod. That is not what the plan was. I grabbed my tripod and my new camera and I brought them. They're sitting in the car back there. The problem is, well, first I forgot the camera, had to turn around and go back and get it. Then I got to the trailhead and realized the battery was home on the charger. So I have my camera in my car, but no battery to power it. So I'm using my cell phone. And the other problem was the tripod I have. I didn't have the little attachment for my cell phone with me. So this is gonna be a little bit shaky, but it should be decent quality video. It's a good phone, but doesn't meet all of my needs. Look what I'm surrounded by. Isn't this beautiful? There's the road back. There are quite a few cars here. A lot of people, you know, with homes near these trailheads like mine. It's a very easy thing to, you know, head out for an evening hike in this area. So I'm gonna pick a different trail each time we go out, a different meal each time we go out. Probably something simple. Tonight's is very simple. Talk about that in a while. And just take in some of the sights and sounds of nature. These cliffs are always amazing to me. They're not very impressive on camera, but they sure are to the naked eye. Walk over here to the edge and give you a better view. Now, as I said, this has to be 2 hours or less. I could hike this trail literally for hours and have no problem with it. It's so beautiful. I've done it. But I need to be able to go home, shower, take a nap, and get to work, because I do work nights. So the plan is to hike in somewhere I already know, which is what I'm thinking tonight. Or hike for an hour, stop, eat, and hike for an hour out. I think tonight's hike is just going to be a little secluded spot I know up here to just sit and have something to eat and have a chat. In the meantime, I'll let you in on some of the beautiful scenery. I gained bunch of weight during the whole stay at home, and then before that, winter. And I'm trying to get in better shape before I really start tearing into backpacking, which should happen soon. I'm a mountain biker. So I thought, what better way? You know, some people, at the end of the day, they go to the gym. Some people, at the beginning of the day, they go to the gym. This is my gym. I'm gonna hike. I'm building some kind of road down to the river. Check this out. So I can tell there are piles of gravel and rock. They've been doing all kinds of construction in here. Look at this. This wasn't here the last time I was here. You can hike down there. The river is right there. See the waterfall? I've never been able to come down here. This wasn't here. This was just a sheer drop off. Let's go check this out. That's really cool. I don't know if this road is here for people to be able to get to the water, or if they're building it for, you know, city purposes. Ogden City could be building this. You can see taggers have already hit this brand new concrete. But hey, at least it's not a giant male appendage or a bunch of cursing that I can't show in my video. It's family friendly. I try to be anyway. Look at the immensity of this cliff. This is incredible. Ready? Where we're going right now is actually going to be right next to the creek. As long as nobody's there and I don't have to pick another spot, then we should be fine. I'm just amazed. Being springtime, it's May, today is May 14th, at the greenery. It's just incredible. Look at this. I have 3 groups of hikers ahead of me that I had to pull over and kind of let them pass because I was vlogging everything. I feel kind of strange doing this because they keep stopping and looking back at me. But I'm going to shut up for a while. There's quite a few people. I'm going to wait until we get closer to our destination to film anymore. This is pretty cool. This always gets my attention when I come down here. This is the culvert where the water crosses over to the other side of the trail. A lot of graffiti in there. We are close to the city. Always happens. One thing I've noticed since this whole pandemic thing took off, give you a shot down the tunnel. I don't really want to go down there. But since this whole pandemic thing took off, you have an increasing number of people coming out on the trail who are not outdoorsy, shall we say. And that's great, you know, get out in the outdoors, breathe the fresh air, learn to love it. The problem is they're more armchair outdoorsy, so they leave their trash and they leave their dog poop and they wreck the trail, and I come hiking through and find it all. That's been frustrating. Like the tagging, for example. I don't come up here to screw everything up with spray paint, but some people obviously fancy themselves artists, and that's exactly why they come up here. Go somewhere else. There's a whole concrete jungle down that way. Spray it to your heart's content, but leave the mountains alone. Okay, so I've come to my stopping point, and the couple that was just ahead of me went down into it. But they may just be checking it out. So I'm going to hang out here for a bit, make it look like I'm taking a rest. I don't really need to, and see if they come back out. I hope so. This place is kind of important to me. If not, there's another spot up the trail. Looks like they're coming out though, which is good news. Okay, they left. That doesn't mean other people won't try to come down here. It's hard not to. You're coming up the trail this way and you spot this. Right down into a beautiful green grove. How could you not come down here? So I'm going to, and this is where I plan to have my dinner, right next to the Wheeler Creek. This spot, I've been here many times before and made videos here. This is where my friend Joe Shanks and I first camped out together. Except we didn't camp out. We got snowed out and ended up at a Mexican restaurant later that night. But we did hang our hammocks here. And my friends, I brought my hammock. And we're gonna hang it right here near where the campfire is. Okay, that took all of 3 minutes to get that up. That's where we're hanging. Trail goes up there to the back to the main trail, so pretty close to people, but time is not on my side on these hikes, so the sooner I can set up and have dinner the better. Here's the fire pit and more of what I was talking about. You don't need that to start a fire if you know what you're doing, and you don't need to leave your trash everywhere. Good Lord. We'll be taking that out with us, and this bag. At least the orange peels are biodegradable. Anyway, this is it, my friends. This little tent spot back here didn't used to be there. I wonder if somebody intentionally, like a lay person, tore that up and made it tent friendly, or if the Forest Service did it. I'm not sure. Hard to say. But this is what we're surrounded by. Absolutely beautiful. So one disadvantage of not having a tripod is I have to hold the camera the whole time or prop it up in a tree, and the video gets kind of shaky, you know what I mean? Of course you do. You're watching this and going. Anyway, so I can't have any far away still shots unless I can find somewhere to wedge my phone. So this could get creative, or it could just be first person perspective. So here's what dinner is. I'm starving. We're having chicken teriyaki pro pack, and for dessert, little trail mix. That's pretty much it. That's all I brought. I have my roll pack with all my supplies in it, and this is where my interesting little stove comes in handy. We're gonna open the fire section and take out a couple things, and then we'll discuss how we're cooking dinner. Okay. I'm using the kickstand on my phone case. Works. So we got some water here, about 14 ounces. Pro Pack takes about that, 14 ounces. And so what I got here is a little Espit stove, survival type stove. You bend the sides up like this. You pop one of these little Espit tabs into it. I kind of hope to use this setup for my summertime ultralighting this year. As close to ultralighting as I get, I think this would be an awesome way to cook. So you put the tablet right there, light it, set your pot right on top. Boils the water. I don't have a piece of foil. It's a windscreen, but you know what, guys? Down in here, there's no wind whatsoever. So let's get this lit. Takes them a minute, but once they get going, they're good. I've used these also as fire starters. There we go, it's going. I'm gonna let it prime for a minute before I go setting the pot on top of it and smothering it. And I need to grab the lid. One good thing about the bright blue hammock is it's making it obvious I'm down here to people on the trail. Maybe they'll think twice about hoofing it down here. I don't blame them for coming down here. I just like my privacy. All right, guys, let's see how this goes. This is kind of a test for this little stove too. Let's see, that's not quite where it needs to be. Try not to light myself on fire here. There we go. There we go. Oh yeah, it's still burning in there. See that flame? Alright, let's put the lid on, we'll get a faster boil. I'm going to be really happy if this works. It's going to save me a lot of weight in my pack. This pot is titanium, and so it weighs almost nothing as well. So this whole setup right here is super lightweight. Let's let it cook. Got my tree, or my hammock strapped to this tree. It's about 6 inches across. It's wide enough. It has a lot of movement to it. So if I grab this tree and give myself a push, this guy dances with me. There's my view from the hammock. Not too shabby for a couple hours before work. In the past, I've hung my hammock right here, except I strapped it to this big spruce right here. That thing. I can't point in the camera. And then the same tree here, so more across this way. And that tree has gotten so big around in the years I've been doing that I can't reach around the tree. Can't reach around the tree to, you know, hang the strap. So we made do with Mr. Bendy Tree here. Now this site, just a few short years ago, I met a man named Joe Shanks. And he is a very good friend of mine. He was going by the name Mr. T-Max at the time, and we had our first attempted camp out here it was April of about, I want to say 2017, May have been 2016. I'll put a link to that adventure down below. We set up our hammocks. Joe had a great hammock, this really cool laid flat thing that he was anxious to try, that he'd set it up in a park and tested it, but I think this may have been his first time setting it up in the mountains. Correct me if I'm wrong, Joe. Anyway, this was the beginning of our friendship. It was right here around this campfire that we never got going, and that the snow came down sideways, heavy, wet snow. I got cold and wet. I put my rain gear on too late, so my clothes were wet. I was freezing, and Joe's the kind of guy who's like, no, I'd rather just stay. I came all the way here. I'm gonna stay put. At the time, he lived in Salt Lake City, so it was about a 40-minute drive, which isn't bad for him because he's a truck driver. He now lives in Idaho, and he's driven all the way down here to camp out with me from Idaho. I need to return that favor. I want to see some Idaho mountains. Anyway, so we made our friendship here. We ended up setting up camp, having a little powwow and deciding this isn't worth it, packing all our gear, hiking back down the trail and going to a Mexican restaurant down the road that I loved, that is now closed, unfortunately. So yeah, this is Joe will probably recognize this when he watches this video, if he watches this video. He's since gotten married and moved to Idaho, and I've since gotten divorced and stayed in Utah. But good memories right here, really good. I think the water might be boiling. That would be awesome. So far, I'm really happy with this super lightweight cook set that I've come up with. Oh yeah, there's a lot of smoke. I don't know if it's steam. That could be the Espit cubes. Let's check it out. One thing I do like is that the pot is extremely close to the flame, and yet there's room to breathe. So no, it's not boiling yet, but it may boil quicker because it's closer. You can see the beads forming in there. So pretty soon. Hopefully one cube will do it. Sometimes it takes a couple of these. There are fish in this creek. I've actually camped here in the winter time before and seen them zipping around underneath the ice. The easiest place to spot them. Joe, you may recognize this spot. This is where you hung your hammock. Got a little robin over here hopping around. Why do robins always run from you? They have wings, for freak's sake. For freak's sake, is that a thing? All right. So here's where the creek comes down. Really beautiful spot right here. And I've seen fish zip out of right here and just zip up here. And there was ice here the last time I was here. You can see them go under the ice to hide. Pretty cool. Little brook trout, I believe. Isn't that beautiful? Here, I'll let you meditate on it for a minute. Okay, man, look at that. We have a boil on one Espit cube that's still burning. This is exciting. Higher altitude, I might need 2 Espit cubes. The steam got me. But there we go. Full boil. Pretty sweet. That's what she looks like. I've had this before. It's pretty good. It's not bad. I've been actually eating a lot lower carb diet lately. Here, let's blow that out. So this is a break from my usual diet. I'm serious about losing the weight, but I'm gonna burn this off just hiking back to the car probably. It's not a full-size meal. It's a pro pack, so not as many calories. So just has to hydrate for about 10 minutes, and we'll come back to it. What's really stupid about this trash is they could have just used these Ziplocs as garbage bags and carried it out with them very simply. Just total crap. There's some toilet paper over there. I saw some back in there. I saw some over there. Dig a hole, guys. Seriously. Anyway, I'll stop my complaining. I'm just hungry. And in case you're wondering about my hygiene, with everything going on in the world, I have these with me, courtesy of Joe Shanks. Hand sanitizing wipe kills 99.99% of illness-causing germs. So this will kill any viruses, bacteria, etc. And I just picked up all that trash and put it in its own bag. So now I really want to sanitize. Whether there was a virus or not, I won't sanitize. And who knows, by the time I post this video, maybe it won't be around anymore. Could be a while. Okay, I just checked it and stirred it, and the rice is cooked, or hydrated, however you want to put it. So that's what we're looking at. Tasty and delicious. Ow, and very hot. Yeah, that Espic cube did a fantastic job. Good stuff. Let's go sit in the hammock. Hot. Oh, hot. Oh. Well, guys, dinner was delicious, filling, not too many calories, just enough. Hammock is taken down, garbage is cleaned up, including the other garbage, and I'm all packed up and ready to go. So, my friends, thank you for joining me for another hike, for another adventure. Pretty solemn adventure, but a good one, a relaxing one. It's about 7:30, 8 o'clock p.m. It's time for me to head home. Wheeler Creek has been kind to us today. Nobody came down here, just me. So, guys, do yourselves a favor. Get off the couch, get outside and have some fun. The views are spectacular. And if you can't get off the couch, just come with me. I could use the company. See you in the next one, guys.